Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we answer a comment that was left recently, and that is, what is the best 80 to 89 proof bourbon out there? Run the video. So on today's episode, we answer a question that was given to us by Daryl Drakeford, who asked us to look at what are the best 80 to 89 proof whiskies or bourbons that there are. So before we get into today's video, if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. It's an excellent time to do that. Why is that? Well, we have a little bit of a lottery or free giveaway update today. So far in the giveaway, we have two bottles. We have a Willet 4-year rye, and we have a Old Forester barrel strength single barrel. But on today's episode, we will be adding a third bottle. So there's going to be 6 to get total. One is going to be added every 500 subscribers until we get to 5,000, and then we'll be doing a live giveaway. More information will follow, exactly the process of what that will look like and how to kind of put your name into the hat if you like. But you do have to be a subscriber, and we will be checking that there as well. So stay around for the end of the video because that third bottle will be announced, and it is a big one, so you definitely do not want to leave us. So let's put these aside. So when I was doing this list, initially I was like, oh, this isn't going to be difficult. But then the more and more I was looking into it, there wasn't that much to choose from, so to speak. The Buffalo Trace is 90 proof, so is Elijah Craig. So a lot of kind of the everyday stuff that I normally tend to lean for was out of the question. Old Forester 100, Cooper Craft 100, Wild Turkey 101, none of them were in that proof point. So what I've done is I've put together 8 bottles for you. I have most of them, a couple of them that I don't, which I'll put on the screen as I'm talking about them. But I've tried my very best. And you have to think about, in this price category or in this proof category, whiskey becomes a little bit more delicate. You're not going to get those bold, abrasive flavors like you get from the higher proof ones. So you do have to sip on it a little bit and definitely pick it apart. It is going to be a little thinner, but that's just because it's lower proof, right? When it's a good time to have lower proof bourbons, well, if you're just getting into whiskey, I think it's an excellent starting point between 80 and 89 proof. And then also as well, if you maybe got a busy day, a busy boardroom, a big merger going on, or just laying some concrete out in the sun, then you might want something a little lighter before that day. So that's when it also is a great time to do that. With that being said, let's get into bottle number 1 on this list. And that is going to be Old Fitzgerald, and this is going to be the Old Fitzgerald Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and this is going to be the original sour mash. I know that this isn't available everywhere. This might be a little bit difficult to find. I was able to pick this up in Kentucky. I picked up a few bottles whilst I was there, and I paid a grand total of $11.99 for these, which is phenomenal value for money. This is probably, out of everyone on the list, my least favorite in a way, if you like, but I wanted something that was really cost effective, and I think this covers that base as well. Yes, like I said in the intro, you're going to expect a little less of those abrasive flavors. It's not going to be as potent. You're not going to get as much of like tobacco or vanilla notes. So with this Old Fitz, the mash bill, and I have that wrote down here, is going to be 68% corn, 20% wheat, and then 12% malted barley. It's believed that it's aged for about 3 years old, and a lot of people, much like myself, think this has a pretty solid oak backbone to it as well. You're going to get some toffee notes and some light vanilla notes there, but a very easy sipper, and sits definitely in that proof price point, 40% ABV or 80 proof. So bottle number 1. Bottle number 2 on this list, and we're going to go with Benchmark, and we're going to do Benchmark Top Floor. So yeah, recently, I say recently, the last year or two, Benchmark Buffalo Trace came out with a new kind of lineup for Benchmark. There's multiple ones in that lineup. However, this one, the Top Floor, comes in at 43% ABV or 86 proof. And this is a Top Floor Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. What is Top Floor? These are just barrels that were taken from the top floor of the warehouse. It might sound a little bit gimmicky, but for me, I think this is actually a really great tasting whiskey. I know a lot of people who like this Benchmark whole series like to go for the full proof ones, and the single barrels are also really good as well. So this is Buffalo Trace's mash bill 1. We don't exactly know what the mash bill is, but we expect it to be 10% or less rye. Other Buffalo Trace products that share the same mash bill, it's going to be Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, and then the Stag's there as well. So like toasted oak, some vanilla notes there I get with this, some brown sugar, and just like a really light berry presence there as well, but a really approachable and really nice sipper. This is the second bottle that I picked up of this. MSRP is about $20. I've seen them on sale a lot, so you might be able to find them a little bit cheaper. And I know, again, these might not be in every state, but they're coming to most, at least right now anyway. Benchmark top floor. So number 2, and this is a bottle I do not have, and that is going to be the Four Roses Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is going to be the 40% or 80 proof. Normally comes in a bit of a bigger bottle. I remember when I first tried this Four Roses, this is one of the first or second year I was in the US, and I first tried it, and I tried it neat as well, and it was beautiful, really nice, a bouquet going on there. Some nice floral notes, some nice light berry notes there as well. The mash bill on this is going to be 60% corn, 55% rye, and then 5% malted barley. MSRP is going to be $20, and it's believed it's got about 5 years old. So really good value for money for the most part on this Four Roses. The mash bill's a little different to some of the other ones that we've had so far, and it's a different distillery as well. And hopefully you'll find it. I think the Four Roses Kentucky Straight Bourbon is everywhere, right? And I know it's a lot of people have them as staples in their whiskey collection. So the next one is going to be bottle number 4, and that is Wild Turkey Long Branch. So this is the one that Matthew McConaughey is involved with. Yes, he's involved with a lot of what Wild Turkey do in their marketing and whatnot, but I think he had more of the hand in this specific one, the Long Branch. This is the mash bill, and this is going to be 75% corn, so a lot higher of a corn mash bill with this one. 13% rye and 12% malted barley. It is going to be coming in at 8 years old, so we're definitely getting a lot more age with this one, which is always fantastic. That definitely helps with the body and the finish of these lower proof whiskeys. This is going to be 86 proof, right in that bracket of 43% ABV. But with the higher age statement, you are going to get a monetary increase. So this is going to be coming in at about $40, available nationwide, but yes, for those 8 years, you're paying $40. So I get like vanilla, baked apple, some of those toffee notes there as well, and like some orange, kind of like citrus orange notes, and a little bit of spice. I do feel like sometimes the finish can fall away just a little bit, but you definitely get more of that age, which is what you kind of would like at these kind of lower proof whiskies. And the Long Branch does an excellent job at doing that there as well. So then bottle number 5 on this list, we're going to Louisville, Kentucky, and we're going to Evan Williams, and that's going to be Evan Williams Single Barrel. Yes, I've had this in a blind, and I wasn't the biggest fan, but after tasting through a lot of my lower proof whiskies and going back to this kind of surprised me a little bit. It did open up. This was like a 7-year-old. This does have like a 7-year-old age statement, usually between 7 and 8 years old. The ABV on this is 43.3% ABV or 86.6 proof, 78% corn, 12% rye, and 10% malted barley. It's coming in at about $27. You get a graham cracker, you get a little bit of pepper, you get some peanut butter notes there as well, like on peanut brittle. So if you like the Heaven Hill peanut note profile, you're gonna get that with this. And you're also gonna get a higher age statement, so you do get that really nice oak backbone. And for $27, a little bit cheaper, $13 cheaper than the Long Branch, this might be your cup of tea. And this is a single barrel as well, so that could vary from bottle to bottle. But I think if you're looking for a budget, interesting bottle, I think these Evan Williams single barrels definitely fit that category there as well. And they have a cool wax top too. Then for bottle number 6 on this list, and this is going to be a bottle that I've tried recently. We put a video out on this, and this is going to be Old Grandad, and that is going to be the Old Grandad Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is coming in at 40% ABV or 80 proof. The age on this is believed to be about 4 years old. The mash bill on this is Jim Beam's high rye mash bill, so 63% corn, 27% rye, and then 10% malted barley. And on the nose, I get like beautiful. Kind of reminds me of maybe like an Irish single malt nose. Kind of like this beautiful berry, like baked apple and apricot and stone fruit for days. It's just so fruity on the nose. And you get a touch of that kind of rye spice to kind of bring it all together. Not much wood, it does drink a little bit thin, but for the nose on this, it's just a phenomenal nose. And it had to be on this list. And it's coming in at $17, so not terrible value for money at all. $17 for this, and it's findable in everywhere, every bottom shelf somewhere you can pick this up, and definitely one that you should have on your shelf if you're looking for a low proof bourbon. So then bottle number 7 on this list, and the last one that I do not have, and that is going to be the Basil Haydens Toast. Yes, we put a Basil Haydens on this list. Notoriously not a big fan of Basil Haydens, just because Stuff like the Basil Haydens 10, crazy value for money, like $80 for 40% ABV whiskey. However, the toasted, I actually don't mind the toasted. I think it's just complex enough, and it adds another layer of flavor with the toasting. You get a bit more value there than what you would do from like the regular offerings, like the 10-year and the rye, and then the regular Basil Haydens offering. So Basil Haydens toasted is 40% ABV, 80 proof, not an age stated. I wasn't able to find the age, but best guess from a lot of people is about 5 years. $50 is going to cost you for that extra barrel toasting. So the mash bill on this is going to be 63% corn, 27% brown rice, and then 10% malted barley. It's really interesting that that's exactly the same mash bill as the Old Grandad. The only difference is that in the Old Grandad they use 27% rye. In the Basil Haydens toasted they use 27% brown rice. So you might be able to pick up some different flavors. It's definitely not as spicy. It drinks more like a Kellogg's Rice Krispie cereal bar, and it also has like a really nice powdered marshmallowy rice note. Very approachable. The sweetness adds another layer of complexity and makes it even more drinkable there as well. And it does have this like oaky hazelnut note there in the background that goes on. Yes, it is $50, so maybe a little bit higher of a proof point, but if you're looking for a lower sipper that's toasted or double barrel, that might be the one that you're looking for there. So then lastly, and certainly not least, that is going to be Old Forester 86. We could not have a tier list or a list without an Old Forester being on there, because they are just some of the best juice that you can just get, and always affordable prices, and mostly always attainable and findable. So this is the Old Forester 86, much like the namesake, 43% ABV or 86 proof. Retail on this is going to be about $19, and there's not much that can probably beat it on the list here in terms of value for money. And this is going to be 72% corn, 18% rye, and then 10% malted barley. Wasn't able to find an age for this, probably a region of about 3 to 5 years, I can imagine there. So notes I get on this, like red apple, you get that typical like bubble gum, burnt or baked banana note that you get from a lot of Brown-Forman products, and then you get some really nice toasted oak, mapley notes there as well. Really great bottle of whiskey. Don't ever sleep on Old Forester 86 or Old Forester 100 for that matter. So we've talked through a lot of the bottles here. Hopefully you can get some value for this. And like I said, if you're someone who drinks a lot of cast strength or high proof whiskey, when you go back to this stuff, you do have to be a little bit patient with it as well, because you're not going to get all those bold and obvious flavors. So you're going to have to sift through them and explore them a little bit, and maybe you might have to wait until your palate adjusts there as well. But there's definitely value in all of these bourbons that we've talked about there as well. So with that being said, I did promise that we would have a third bottle reveal. So like I said, every 500 subscribers, we'll add another bottle to this list. So I anticipate we'll have 4 more bottles, so we'll announce 1 more today, and then we'll have 3 more coming for every 500 subscribers we'll hit. For you folks at home who's interested in this giveaway, continue to keep watching the videos and looking out for updates on the channel, and then we'll have a way for everybody to kind of add their names into the hat. And then when we get doing the live stream, we'll pull the names and double check the subscription, and then we'll just make sure everything's ticked, and hopefully some folks at home can have some excellent bottles of whiskey. With that being said, I promise you guys a good bottle. So the third bottle on the free giveaway for the subscribers there is going to be Buffalo Trace's Weller Antique 107. Potentially the best bottle that we have on the giveaway so far. We have this Old Forester, which is phenomenal. We have the Willet, which was donated by Alex, thank you so much, which is also excellent juice. But the Weller 107 is just something special, and it's something that no one's going to complain about having on their shelf. This is the 2021 lot, if that makes any difference for you. I think I got this when I was up in Ohio, like everybody else who goes to the motherland up in Ohio is able to get some Weller Antique 107. So again, free giveaway, completely free. Just need to be a subscriber and just continue to look for updates as we get closer to that 5,000 live streaming. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, please let us know down below. Maybe let us know if you'd like to see any other videos about any other different ABV categories. We might explore hazmat here soon. I'm just kind of building myself up a little bit there, making sure I clear my week ahead of time before maybe we taste through some of that stuff there. So if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, and as we drink through the world's whiskies 1 glass at a time, cheers.